Well, hello and everyone. Welcome to the stream. With everything that has just happened, please, if you hear or see anything technical going on, please just put it in the chat so we know.
Or
Yeah.
you can take the Night Vale approach. If you see something, say nothing
And drink to forget.
There
Yes.
you go.
I will say, if you guys do post it, I am in the chat. I have it up, so I will see it. So
Cool.
don't be afraid to tell us, because we do need to know that stuff.
Please. And I think like eventually we do need to make like a welcome to Nexilis drinking game.
Every time Jason loses a brain wrinkle, down your drink.
Every time you cry, drink to forget.
Oh yeah, every time you drink. Every time you drink, see,
drink
I'm
more.
already. It's every time you drink a little bit extra. That's for. Just
Alright.
for funsies.
I just turned on my mic again. Alright. I saw hydrate or dihydrate. I just took a drink. I'll say that applies.
Oh wow, I did that without even looking at it.
I did too.
I have that Twitch sense.
The Twitch. We're all elite
Get that after, like-
gamers.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
We're all
gamers.
pog champs here.
Oh. No. Okay. Hopefully that's better. Okay, hopefully that's better. We'll see. I think they'll tell me if my voice is still too loud. It doesn't help. I'm just also a very loud person. So let's try this again, shall we? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. We are finally going to be playing our second session of Welcome to Nexilis. As I said last time, and as the chat will remind you, that this campaign isn't exactly horror, but it is still quite dark. So we have things like, obviously, as you can,
Yes.
under the assumption, yes, most of the characters in this campaign have died at least once, if not more, and you have other characters who have gone through some very traumatic deaths, war, military, burning, murder, torture, abuse, stuff like that, and drowning, a lot of stuff, but
I
do. So yes.
Oh, I heard my name.
And also one of the characters' backstories does mention about pandemic, but that is her backstory. But that's still there, and that is still a really real world
Hello,
thing.
that was also me.
God damn it, Chelsea!
You're like, I am the problem. It is me.
Yeah, that is something that war and plague and all, like, kind of social shit that we're dealing with in real life is a very heavy thing in Korra, because this is a character from a book I'm writing that was inspired by what was happening at the point in time, which is all the social upheavals and the plague that we're dealing with right now. So yeah, just thought I'd let you know.
So yes, it is good to know that I realize I think I might know what the issue is with my mic, is that the Zoom call is getting my nice mic. I think OBS might be getting my laptop mic.
Your shit, man.
My shit mic. So let me check and make sure. As I fix this, I know everyone just loves to see what all of this is. Okay, so hopefully that helped. Whoops. Hopefully that helped. Maybe, everyone. So, alright. So we are going to move forward. Normally, what I would say is, with all of these things, yes, they are heavy topics, but we don't just jump right into anything. There's like a bit of a build-up for stuff. Except this session, everyone, we are starting right in the thick of some heavy shit. So, let's begin.
Excuse me?
No one warned us.
Run that by me a second time, please.
Repeat that?
Well, you all, I don't know how often you all dreamt before you came to Nexilis, but dreams work a little differently within the pocket of Nexilis. Within Nexilis, Chelsea's losing her mind.
I'm getting my fucking notebook and doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Holy God.
It was a little aggressive. I'm in a weird mood. I've been working all day. I'm sorry.
The thing is, you banged your desk and it shook your mic stand, and so it was just bassy.
Yeah, you went full
Like that
Hitchwire for a
sometimes.
second.
You're welcome. Just getting into character.
All right, getting into character. All right. I apparently am just going to have to watch my volume because my mic keeps blowing out. So I'm just going to watch my volume. So, with this, we are going to start. Let's see. Who do I start with? Let's start with Ivor. Ivor.
Mm-hmm.
Ivor, you...
Look.
Ivor, you were out like the dead the moment you hit the bed. You didn't even have to fully hit the bed before you were out. Out like a light. And what you dream is something that isn't a dream, more like a memory. But it's not your memory. You, for the first time since you were injured in the instance before your death, you end up coming to running. You are hoofing it across a field. It's not even a field, it's more like you're in a metropolis area, but it seems to be almost what you would imagine in like a dystopian novel. The buildings are too tall, they are too metallic, there is too much glass, the pavement is hot because of the metal and the glass. You hear shouting, you hear a familiar voice, and you're seeing things for the first time in days. And you hear gunfire, but you don't recognize what that sound is. But you hear loud pops, and you hear pings, and you feel pain, a searing hot pain coming through your back. And you look over, and you see a man running, a human man running beside you, and around him he has this young tween girl in his arms. And he looks over at you with these vibrant blue eyes. Keep hoofing it! And you see your own hands come in front of you.
Motherfucker.
And you see long brown hair kind of pulling in front of you. And you turn around and you see vans with cars. Vans with people with guns aiming at you. And you hear a voice. It's Winter's voice, screaming to the man beside her to duck in an alley. You can feel the heartbeat in your chest as this is now Winter's memory. Winter's last memory outside of Nexilis, as she gets in between the vans and gets in between her brother and her niece and tells them to keep running. And then you see blood and you look down and there's just riddled with holes in your own chest. As Winter stumbles, you hear Walter scream for his sister, but before he can stop and make his daughter keep running, they also get gunned down. All of the Dwyers have been gunned down. And that's where your dream ends.
Holy shit!
Jesus Christ, Casper!
Holy shit!
Why do you have to make it
I'm not. He did that shit on purpose. I'm not ready. I don't want to go next.
Wow.
I don't want to go
Well,
next.
thanks everyone for coming to today's session. That was really great. Had a great time.
Over. We're done.
Campaign's over. No, we've solved it. We know. We're out.
Cora.
No.
Cora.
Don't do this to me.
Cora.
Oh, I know who it's gonna be. Yep.
Yeah, you do. Cora, you in your dream, your eyes open and you see the vast landscape. You see bodies as if you have walked onto a scattered battlefield. You can tell that a war has just been ravaged across this field. There are swords, there are arrows, there are shields, there are fallen men, there is blood, there is viscera everywhere. And you are looking through this with teared eyes. As you're walking, you look down and you see this armor. It is intricate, it is finely detailed, and you see between the fingers there is chainmail. There is not an inch on this body that is not armored in this almost, you can tell that this was handmade and hand designed and decorated. It shines with the light of the sun that is far too blinding, especially because you have not seen the sun in a few days with Nexilis and being on the stormy seas. You look over, and in the distance, standing on top of a heap of bodies, this feels far too much like a story you would have heard and not an actual scene that you could ever witness. You see on top of the bodies is a woman, a strong, imposing woman. She's probably easily 7 feet tall. This piercing, when I say blonde, I mean it is a striking yellow, almost golden, in a tight braid that kind of goes against the wind as she yields a massive sword, like a claymore sword, and she is just standing powerfully over the bodies. And she turns and looks over and makes eye contact with you, with blood splattered on her face, and smiles. So, you thought you could change things. How cute. And you hear a voice come from your own mouth. You know this voice. Please. I never wanted it to be like this. It wasn't supposed to be like this. We said we could change things, but this is destroying everything. And your vision kind of gets blurred through tears. And the woman on the bodies kind of steps down and starts to walk close, and it causes you to back up. But you don't retreat. And the woman says, well, if you're going to stop me, you're going to have to do so by force. But I never took you to be a fighter. And then you look down and you have unsheathed a sword that is intricately designed with stones and runes, and everything is inscribed into the blade as just a scream just escapes from your own mouth, and you charge. You take running at this woman. And then a sword fight happens, and you can tell that the hands that you are fighting with, they are not trained, they are not equipped, but they are desperate to stop the madness. As this woman just brutally beats down, you end up just having to move with the grace and elegance of it's more like a dance. As you dodge and you beg and you plead, you eventually get disarmed and you look up, and the woman has her sword, but she hasn't swung at you yet. And she kind of leans down to you, which is about 1.5 foot difference. She leans down to you. What do you really want? You said you wanted to change things, and have I not changed things? And you see the hands of the body that you are a part of just reach up and cup the woman's face, wipe the blood off the cheek. I wish I could have changed things before we met. I wish that you hadn't been convinced that this is what you had to do. I thought that we could make things better, not destroy everything. And the woman just pushes your hands aside and grabs what you can assume is your neck. Mm-hmm. Too late. And shoves you to the ground, and you look up as the woman now then stamps her foot down on your chest, pulls up the sword, and leans down and grabs you by your hair and forces you to look at your own reflection in her armor. What you see is Thespis' face, bruised, blood, busted lip, hair is a mess, tears streaking down their face as they are forced to look in their own reflection in this blood-stained armor. And the woman says, "You are no fighter. In fact, curtains down. Show's over, darling." And you just see the sword go into your own chest. And then the memory ends.
That's rude.
That one song on the playlist makes a lot more sense now. I understand the meaning of that one. Great!
Dead Girl Walking Reprise, baby!
Yep! I'm gonna... Bye! Bye!
Magna!
I don't like this.
Birthday party. Many dreams of a birthday party. That's it. That's all it gets. No nightmares.
A cupcake, a few candles, some presents, a nice warm fire, and a weighted blanket. Maybe. Perhaps if I'm lucky.
Perhaps if God permits.
No.
God does not permit.
Magna, you are in a cave. You can see you're traveling with a party. At least you can hear the party. You can feel your own labored breath. You can feel your muscles shaking as you're looking down, and you don't even get to see what is below you as you look up and you see a dragonborn woman, red scales and an armor with Bahamut upon her chest, and she has grabbed your face and says, "It's going to be all right. It's go." And before she can even finish, you see her start to disintegrate into ash in front of you. And you see these tanned hands that come up with cleric robes grasping desperately as you see Amir's clerical robes start to become covered in soot and ash. They start to go under his fingernails. It's going on his face. And you start to hear, Birin! Birin! And he starts to scream as he's grasping at her armor that's disintegrating in front of him. And all he can grab hold of is one ring. A sturdy metallic ring that has a big red gem on it. And that was all he was able to grab as he looks through what was once his wife. And now a necromancer stands behind her, having just evaporated her into ash. And you see all of your vision blurs for a moment, and then all you hear is a ruptured scream of rage as Amir just pulls out his quarterstaff and charges the necromancer. And he is just swinging to try and disarm the man, and he has flown into a clerical rage. And he is trying to fight. He is swinging at the arms to make the spells aim elsewhere. And you can see that the rest of the party has come charging, but it seems that you can feel it in your guts. You know that anyone who fights in this fight is going to die. You know that these people that are coming to help you, your only hope, they are charging into their own deaths. Before you can even think, you see a massive firewall go up as Amir casts a spell to block his aid from coming so that they don't die. And he keeps the spell going and refuses to fight with magic, as you know that if you cast a spell, you will lower the firewall and will send these people to their deaths. And you see his hands keep fighting. He keeps screaming. It's unintelligible at this point. It's in a language you don't know. You do not know these words that he is speaking. And before he can try and slam his staff down, you see a sword, a dagger, in fact, be pulled from the necromancer's cloak and be plunged right below your chin. And Amir drops his staff and grabs for the necromancer, grabs his face, and casts a spell that causes the firewall to go down, but before Amir drops, it makes the necromancer also drop. And that's where your dream ends.
This is session 2. What the fuck?
We started. Come on.
Now you know why Amir doesn't let Ash linger.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought he was just putting that because it's like, keep a clear altar space. Fuck off.
I lost another
tissues?
wrinkle.
Dude,
God, shit.
you guys want some tissues? I got some tissues. What the fuck, Casper?
Wow.
And then you all wake up.
Yeah.
So we're in the room, right?
Yeah, you're all still in the same room.
Okay, without thinking, without saying anything to anyone, Magna's gonna walk out and go directly to the bakery.
Okay. So Magna has up and left. All right. Does anyone follow Magna?
Cora's in too much shock from her own dream.
Okay.
She's trying to. It's like a buffering symbol. You just see it. She doesn't know what to do.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna follow Magna for a bit. All right, and then I'll come
That's
back
fine.
and figure out what you do. So Magna,
Chelsea needs the process. That's fine.
go for it.
I have the buffering symbol.
All right. Ivor, do you? I mean, what does Ivor do?
Probably just sits there.
Okay. All right, then we're gonna follow.
To be honest, that was traumatic.
Yeah, that
She's
was
got her
wild.
own trauma, and now
buffering.
there's more.
So, you wake up. It is just now light out. You see, as you're walking out, you see people in the tavern, and Dimitri tries to greet you, but you don't even hear it, and Dimitri doesn't call. The people in the tavern are all just kind of, there are only a few people, like Richard and Claudius are in there seemingly just talking over breakfast, but you don't stop to talk. You walk, you leave, you wrap around the tavern, you go past, and it's a very quick walk to the bakery. You get into the bakery. Now, what do you do? Do you just walk in? It seems to be open. You can hear, you can see that there's some lights on inside. You can hear sounds of rustling, and the windows are open. The curtains are open.
He's just gonna walk right in.
All right. Inside, what you see is Amir. You see Amir behind the counter. He's kind of humming to himself as he's kneading some dough. You can smell freshly baked fruity pastries in the oven. You can also smell some incense, but as you see, he hasn't allowed any ash to collect. He seems to be almost just methodically removing the ash. Or perhaps it's a spell to hide it. But there is no ash. And he has his hair pulled back in a ponytail, and he's got his lacy apron, and he has flour on his arms, and he looks up. Oh, good morning. How are you?
Magna's gonna say absolutely nothing, but just walk behind the counter and just grab him and just give him a hug. Just gonna just hold on to him, and just like it's probably the strongest and most protective hug he's ever given anyone in his life. But he can't say anything. He's just holding Amir.
Amir kind of just it's okay. Are you okay? He's like rubbing Magnus back. It's like it's okay. Do you want another blackberry pastry? I've got some in the oven. It's okay. I remember you liked those. And he's like kind of rubbing your arm, and he's like just trying. His entire focus is on comforting you.
He can't speak. Like there's a part of him that's afraid that if he stops holding Amir, that he might disappear. There's something just like in the back of his mind that's like what he saw is what's happening now.
Oh no! What the fuck?
It's I mean, when he does find the words, all he can really say is just Biren, just over and over, just like where.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. She's getting ready. Biren, darling, Biren. And from the back, you hear footsteps and like a quick pace, and you hear Biren kind of just stumble in. She's like, "Is everything all right? Is everything?" And you see her, except she's not in her armor. She's actually, it seems to be still in her pajamas.
Bless.
She's still,
bless her.
And Amir is kind of like awkwardly looking because you are much taller than Amir. Amir is like
He's like, hello.
Amir is like 5'6", 5'7".
Large man.
Yes, and you're like, how tall are you?
You're big.
7 foot tall.
So you and Biren are about the same size?
Okay. He's gonna try, even though I mean they're the same size. He's gonna take one arm off of Amir and wrap it around her as well.
Oh.
Even though I don't think he's ever met.
Oh,
I think they just kind of passed.
No, we literally haven't
I don't think we have talked to her at all. He's just
we saw her in the bar. We walked out. We met everyone else. There's 2 people. Biren and Roger are the only people we haven't met.
But he saw her in that minute, so he knows enough that like this is who this is, and then he's just gonna like just hold both of them.
Biren lets herself be pulled in. You can tell that neither Amir or Biren know what the fuck.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
Biren, you feel her claws.
They just woke up like an hour ago.
You feel Biren's like clawed hand like also rubbing your other arm. It's like, it's okay, it's gonna be okay, it's fine, we're here. And like you see her kind of like you can like feel her head kind of crane so she can like look in a mirror. It's like, you may want to put the kettle on. And Amir's like, yeah, I believe I'm gonna put the kettle on.
I love that.
And Amir kind of pulls away just enough to like meet your gaze. It's like, why don't you go sit down? And you don't have to leave. You can go. There's a couch right over there. You can go sit. Biren, why don't you go sit with him? And he kind of pulls away. It's like, let me get some tea made. And Biren like kind of offers to walk you to the couch and sit down with you.
And the whole time he's walking over, he's just... Well, I mean, he's kind of out of breath because he kind of jogged jauntily over. But he's going to sit down and he's just going to... I'm so sorry.
Biren, it's like, you haven't done anything wrong. It's fine. You didn't do anything. She's like rubbing your back.
I love Magnus.
It's okay, and you hear like Amir, like you see Amir is very quickly, like he's like trying to speed run, making tea.
Like he was already going fast before you said that, but as soon as he heard just I'm sorry, he's like I gotta go.
Yeah, no.
Like you see Amir like grabbing the tea kettle and like putting it on the heat and like shut, and then when it's not heating up fast enough, he literally picks it up and grabs the bottom of it and casts a spell.
Oh my lord!
Oh, man.
Oh god!
He's like, give me the fucking tea!
And like it gets the water boiling and he like pours it over and he's like rushingly like trying
What a precious angel!
So Amir gets the tea made and he kind of opens the oven, checks it, and he like pulls out a basket and you see him walking over with like a cup of tea and a basket of of little blackberry tarts, and he kind of just like offers them both to you. And it's like, do you want to talk about it?
No.
That's okay. That's okay. And Amir kind of just sits with you, and it's like, good morning. I hope the rest of your day goes better than apparently it started.
Me too.
Bad dreams?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's okay, it happens. Especially, I mean, considering you just got here, it's a very stressful situation. It only makes sense. But it's going to be okay. You're awake now, and things are going to be fine. And he kind of like reaches over and he like kind of just rubs your arm.
I don't know why, but I want to roll insight on that.
Do it.
I don't... knowing what he's seen, I don't think he buys any of that anymore. I hate to say it, but... That's a natural 20.
Smooth. Oh shit, not smooth! Lots of wrinkles.
Lots of wrinkles.
I've rolled my wrinkles back into existence.
It's like those comics, it's like the cartoons where like it's a character that has no muscle and then suddenly just
Yeah, it's me with my brain. I am
Popeye
Mega Man
after he
now.
eats fucking spinach. Popeye after he eats fucking spinach.
Yeah, right. That's me.
This is a man.
The tea and the blueberry tarts really helped.
Oh yeah, probably.
Before you know that you see a man who has been lying to himself for years. This is the epitome of that man of like, how do you do it? Every day you are so happy. Well, I'll tell you my secret, sir. I lie to myself.
Yeah.
That is the man that you see before you. And you can tell that he's not lying to you maliciously. He's almost trying to get himself to believe it. That everything has to be okay. Everything has to end well. It has to be that this is going to be okay. Yeah, so he wants to believe it, and he desperately feels he needs to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't fully anymore.
Yeah. I mean, the worst possible thing would be to call that out. Like, this, yeah.
Just really quick. Why couldn't we have had nightmares about, Meredith?
Yeah, right.
Fuck her.
It's so much nicer if we would just...
the 3 people that we love the most.
Damn it.
Oh, trust me, I know
Why
you're
did you have to attack us like that?
Well, I
Like,
know that
really-
you...
Not even his
Technically, we
characters.
asked for it.
Not
We
even
said,
characters.
we
You
said,
did.
fuck us up. That's what we said.
You did tell me to fuck you up.
Verbatim,
That
fuck
is
us
true.
up.
That is true. But like, why did you have to do it like that?
Oh, trust me, you guys are gonna sleep many more times, and there's many more characters.
No.
Oh, you want to
fuck
bet, huh?
Now it is Jason's goal to never have Magnus sleep. Magnus gonna die again,
Oh
but from
yeah,
exhaustion.
that chair. I'm gonna die a second time in that chair. Just not sleeping in that seat.
All right. I mean, that's your prerogative.
I mean, probably a horrible. idea.
That's what you want to do. Like, that's fine.
That's not what I want to do. But no. I mean, he's gonna drink the tea, eat the tarts,
Okay.
try to just acknowledge the fact that yes, Amir might be lying right now, and it's very obvious that things are not okay. The extent of that being, they are both there, and they are together.
Yeah.
And that alone is probably the best outcome for what had happened, that they're in the same place now.
Yep.
Whether or not they're alive, that's oops, but they're still they're still together, and there's still that semblance of like there's still this house that we have together. There's still this place where we can be together to the extent of life and death,
which is so good. Also, Amir, I put it in the Discord server for all of the people in this game, but also Amir is just the embodiment of the "this is fine" dog.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I know the fire.
Yes. Well, as you are sitting with and kind of trying to process the situation, Amir and Birin end up realizing that what you seem to need is a bit of a distraction. So they both start kind of just telling you, just telling stories, cracking jokes. You can tell that both of them are just trying to cheer you up, and they don't seem to like. It's not like there is this knowing sense behind it. You can tell they literally have no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
You're just having a breakdown. They're like, "We're here for you. We're here for you."
But you can tell that this ain't their first rodeo of being the go-to when someone's having a meltdown.
Oh, I don't doubt it. They're very nice.
I love them.
they're so
I
good.
love them.
And I love them.
Yeah. So
They don't deserve the fate that's been handed. They don't deserve this.
They deserve so much more.
most of these characters, some of them, sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
So we're gonna go back to the tavern for a bit. With Cora and Ivor. What do you two do? Magnus just walked out.
Gone. It's just gone.
So the thing is with Ivor is she hasn't been blind long enough to be able to really track where people are. All she knows is she heard footsteps. So she probably thinks that Cora left too. But one thing I realized is she probably does know what the sound of gunfire is. She doesn't recognize modern guns.
Right.
She knows muskets and rifles and that kind of thing. So
it's a culture shock on top of it.
culture shock. So with the dream that she had, she didn't recognize those guns at all. She might have understood the sound of gunfire, but in all of that, her visions aren't usually when she's asleep, but she's had weird ones before. And people have talked about monsters. She doesn't know what those are, but big old vans filled with things that she doesn't understand, with a lot of pounding everything.
That's
She's
true.
probably going to think it was a vision of something that's going to happen later.
Oh.
So she is probably going to try to get to the guardhouse as best she can to warn them.
oh God.
Okay, so Cora, you are still in the room. You see Ivor frantically trying to leave as well.
If Cora when Cora notices that, just do you need help?
Probably, yeah.
Where are you trying to go to?
Guard house, I think. is where we were.
Okay. When where we were
with,
when we were in a lot of
Winter
places.
and Walter and
Yes, badass.
them.
Okay. I can walk you over there.
Okay. All right, so you all start to head down. I just realized. I didn't just realize this. Well, no, never mind. You all never changed into pajamas. You don't have pajamas yet. You only have.
No, we don't have shit. We have what we came in with.
Well, thankfully there is a character in town who can change. But you all, the two of you, head down, and as you all leave, you are about to leave, and before you head out, Cora, you see behind the bar, Dimitri is still there, but he seems to be kind of reading again. Except you can tell this time he's not actually reading the Braille, he's just literally mindlessly staring at the book. And when you both
Seriously doesn't want to be bothered.
well, when you both come down, he kind of turns his head and goes, good morning. And he puts the book down. Goes, is Ivor with you?
She is, yes.
And he kind of like you hear like a little like him kind of his fingers kind of like tapping the bar counter. He's like, I know you didn't sleep well. I'm sure none of you did. But you are safer here. And he then kind of picks up his book and he literally just walks. So if you want to roll insight, you can go for it.
I think I know why, but I do want to roll insight.
Go for it.
I will say while we're rolling this, Cora's face is a lot paler than what it normally is.
Yep.
And her expression isn't as it's still pleasant because it's just her way of being, but if someone looked at her, they'd be able to tell like she's really trying to keep it pleasant.
Well, unfortunately, Dimitri can't see your face, so...
Oh, no, I know. I understand that. 18. 18.
Okay.
I got a 15.
Mm-hmm.
You both can tell...
Look at insight roll for me.
You both can tell that whatever just happened with you guys, Dimitri had that, but he dreamt Ivor's.
Oh. Oh, no.
No way! Oh my god! No way.
But
that's fun.
But after that, Dimitri has walked away. He doesn't seem to want to confront he doesn't want to confront or address the feelings that come with that sort of thing. So you all both also see Richard and Claudius. They're still seated in the tavern, but they seem to be having a good morning. They seem to be kind of laughing back and forth, sharing food. They don't seem to be too perturbed.
Talking shit.
Yeah, well, just, you can't really...
Talking shit like they always do.
You can't quite hear what they're talking about, but probably.
We'll assume it. We'll assume it. It's fair.
And do you guys just head out towards the guard HQ? Okay.
Cora talks a lot normally because she's just used to it. She's so quiet.
Yep.
Because she's still kind of processing a little bit. She's like,
Yep. So as you're about to walk out of the tavern, the door opens in front of you, and in walks Wallace, the owner of the tavern. Even though Dimitri kind of acts like this is his tavern, Wallace does technically run it. You can also probably assume that Wallace maybe just assumes it to be also more Dimitri's tavern. But Wallace opens the door and he's like, "Oh, good morning," and he has another handkerchief around his neck. It's not the same red one. He's wearing somewhat cleaner clothes than yesterday, so it's, again, start of the day. And his arm is still in a sling. And he kind of opens the door. He's like, hey, you guys okay?
I don't know.
That's okay. Here, if you guys are trying to leave, and he kind of like holds the door open for you guys as you guys leave. And it's like,
Okay.
just so you guys know, I just got word Thespis is actually doing an impromptu performance this afternoon. So over on the stage this afternoon, they'll be performing. So they he kind of like awkwardly slides like so that he can get in behind you guys. It's like, just a heads up. I'm gonna go let everyone else know. Have a good day. And he kind of just awkwardly shuffles inside.
You too.
Radiates social anxiety.
Just so nervous.
So
Baby.
it is still, again, it's morning. You can assume it's morning anyway. Again, there's no sun, but it's
right. It's bright.
it's bright. And you see that there's still some people out and about. You see Lily and Malik, Walter's daughter and Beckett's little brother. They are out with Dalavash. They seem to be walking from the library, kind of down towards another side of town, kind of more towards the fields, because during the daytime, you can at least assume they're safe. And when...
We don't know fully yet.
Cora, when you make eye contact with Dalavash, she gives you a smile and a little wave. She also seems to be having a fairly good morning, as the kids... When Malik sees you guys, he stops in his tracks and looks at you, but he seems to kind of like just look at you too. And then, like, when he sees it's you two, he's like, and then keeps walking. Lily also gives, like, a big old wave as she's walking with, and she calls out, like, morning, as she's walking with Dalavash and Malik. And they, you see, I am blanking on everything right now. You see, the mist is...
Book of NPCs.
Yeah, just like a little book of NPCs here. You all see Darish, Beckett's wife. She's kind of seated outside of the guard. She's just kind of sitting there, seems to be like watching Malik leave. When she sees you coming towards her, she gives like a little wave. Good morning. How are we doing? Not as good of a morning, huh?
Yeah. No, not really, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
All right, well, can I help you with anything?
Are Walter and Winter inside?
Oh, Jenny, could you lean a little closer to the mic, please?
I do
Are Winter and Walter inside?
Yeah, they are just getting ready for the day. You go on ahead. And she kind of gestures to the door. So when you guys walk inside, you see that Beckett is also seated in there. She's seated at one of the at a table, kind of in the corner. Except she's seated with her boots, like her legs crossed and like resting her ankles up on the table. Cora, you can see that the bottom of her boot is just like again gold plated at the bottom of her boot.
Gold bitch.
And you see,
I love Beckett. I fucking love Beckett.
So this is why you said that I was also going to love Beckett.
you can
understandable.
You can see what look like sigils that were like inscribed in the bottom of her boot. If you want to roll like Arcana or History, you can see if you know what they are.
I can do history. I'm good at history.
I'd love to, but I don't think I can hear inscriptions.
No.
That's a 9. I rolled a 5. On the time I have a +4. 9.
That looks like something that may have been put
looks like
there.
something.
Like it might be like an enhancement thing, but it also might just be like a superstition thing. Like sometimes gamblers put like ground clove in their boot for luck, but like no one knows if it actually works. Like it might be something kind of like that.
It's kind of there. It just makes them feel better.
Yeah. When Beckett sees you all, like her...
I have something to blame if they lose.
Exactly.
Man, the clove was bad.
Gotta get a new batch. Get a new fresh batch.
Next time I'm just gonna smoke in a cigarette instead. So, you walk
Inhale
in.
it. Just bloodstream.
Snort the ground clove.
God. Anyway, I don't like that idea.
Get that.
As someone who uses clove frequently in her practice, no, don't do that.
That would clear out your sinuses real quick.
And then infect them, probably.
You might have a bloody nose. You might have a bloody nose afterwards, but it's fine. You can just get some tissues.
God. Anyway, so you see Beckett in there. You see Winter is seated. She's actually seated up on the counter of like kind of where the reception desk is. Winter's sitting up.
Queer.
Yeah, she's sitting up on the counter. Walter is like leaning against it with his hip, and they see you come in, and you all hear the first voice to greet you all is Winter. It's like, oh well, good morning. How are we doing, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, huh?
I wouldn't say that.
Quick question.
What's up?
What do the monsters look like?
Oh, okay. Right off the bat, the monsters are these big old. I would almost compare them to dogs, but that's like an insult to dogs. They are these massive creatures. They got mouths the size of your body, and teeth probably as big as your forearm, and they walk on all fours. Some of them have 6 legs, though. It all depends the night. Though some of them are smaller. There is a wide range of them. The only thing that we know that that all of them have is they all at least have 4 legs, and they all have massive teeth and glowing eyes that kind of smoke black.
I'll figure it all from what you saw.
So, are any of them boxy and black and loud and sometimes have people in them? I think.
Are you talking about a car?
A car?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a vehicle that usually has anywhere from like 4 to 6 tires, and it's usually pretty boxy. Sometimes they're fairly big, and yeah, sometimes people are. Well, I mean, usually if it's moving, it hopefully has people in it. Why?
A car's like a wagon. Or a cart.
Yeah, it's like a wagon or a cart. Exactly what she said.
Are there any of them here?
No.
No? Okay.
Wow. And like Winter, like you kind of hear her like shuffle, like she's shifted to like not be on the counter anymore, and she kind of walks over to you, and it's like, darling, are you okay?
You and your brother have brown hair, blue eyes. Yours is about here, right?
Yes.
Sometimes I see things.
Okay.
Future things. Usually they don't happen while I'm sleeping, but I wanted to make sure that you and him and the little one were going to be safe.
Well, I assure you that, and like you hear Winter kind of trail off a bit and go, I mean, we haven't seen a car since before we got here, and no one here has a car. No one's car came through with them. No cars have died, so
it'd be a hell of a time if it did.
It'd be a hell of a time, which is on the Optimus Prime shows up.
Ivor like.
No, that was not in character. That was Chelsea. That was absolutely Chelsea.
I mean, we don't have any like, you know. I mean, okay, we do have a robot in town, but it's not a big robot. It's a humanoid robot. That's beside the point. I don't think he can turn into a car. No, he can't turn into a car. So, I'm sorry. And like you see Winter realizing that like no one besides Walter has gotten her joke, and so she just, it's okay. We're gonna be okay. Whatever you saw is not. I'll admit I'm a little surprised you saw us in your dream, but you know what, it's been a wild time, so do
you I didn't see anything that had to do with you, but I did see something of someone else in the town. Is that a normal thing here?
I mean, I don't really dream much, not since I got here. I mean, mostly my dreams are kind of like me reminiscing on stuff, so it's mostly kind of like in my own head, but I don't think so. Walter, have you? And like she kind of looks over to Walter. Both Walter and Beckett kind of just give a, not really.
It's fucking Meredith. It's fucking
Really
Meredith.
quick, sorry. Hi, Mom. Thanks for watching.
Oh, yeah, that was
Just
you.
texted me. Just texted me.
Wow, hi, Mom.
Is she watching the stream? Hi, Chelsea's mom.
Dude, she's watching the VOD of the last one.
Oh, the last one. Okay.
Hi, Mom in the
find out.
future. Future Mom.
I love future mom from past us.
The chat is now saying hi to your mom.
I know, I saw that. I see it. Sorry. Just, I was just curious because it felt more like it was a memory.
The moment you say that, both the Dwyers kind of like tense up. It was almost as if like everything that Ivor just explained. It's like, oh well, if that's the case, I am sorry you saw it as us at less than peak performance. But it's okay. It's okay. We're here now, and she kind of like, you see Winter kind of put the side of her hand like against Walter's chest. It's like, I think you've healed up all right. And Walter's like, yeah, no thanks to you. And he kind of like nudges Winter, who kind of gives a laugh. And Winter just like, Winter kind of turns back to Ivor and it's like, also real quick about your, and Winter kind of gestures to the shackles you still have around your wrists.
I told you, Jenny. I told you.
It's like, there is someone in town who could take those off. The shackles.
Is there?
Yes. I'm pretty sure Hitchwire would have the tools. I mean, if you want them to be taken off, I'm sure that Hitchwire could get those taken off.
So it's very clear that her wrists are still like raw underneath it, so they're not comfortable at all, and it looks like they were probably starting to get infected before everything happened.
Yeah.
So just yeah, I should stop by. Just be careful.
Actually, sorry, I didn't even notice a lot of things around. I can get those off for you.
Oh, or she can. Probably a nicer experience than having Hitchwire do it. He bless his
It's
heart.
your choice, honestly. It's your choice, but I can get those off for you.
I would prefer them to be off.
Okay.
Right.
So I have a lockpicking set that I can get them off with.
Okay. I'll roll sleight of hand with advantage.
Yeah. Also, my mother says hi back to the stream and to the chat because she is watching.
Oh, I'm glad that she didn't come in at the very beginning.
15.
I'll say that works. Yeah.
Trauma.
Oh, 15. Roll again.
What?
Advantage. See if you get a higher number. Because if you not
20, I did. That was. I rolled an 8 and a 13.
Oh, okay. And 15 is after you added everything.
Yep.
Okay.
15 is after I added sleight of hand.
15's good. So you are able to, you pull out your lock picking set and you kind of sit there. The Dwyers are like very intrigued as they're like watching you do it. and Beckett seems like you can tell that like Beckett's giving you a very knowing look. She says in Thieves Can't, just so literally you're the only person who knows what the hell she's saying. It sounds like gibberish to everyone else.
Leave fucking gibberish to anyone else.
She's clearing her throat.
Yeah. And it's just if you need upgraded tools, let me know.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
She kind of just like adjusts in her seat as you finish up.
Beckett, oh my god. I'm gonna have a crush on every single character as we go further and further. First it was Thespis, and it'll always be Thespis, and then Beckett, and then someone else next time.
You're gonna be changing your Twitter handle a ton.
No, I am a
Thespis stan.
I am a Thespis until the day I fucking die.
Oh, good old Thespis. So you get the. What was that?
Stand by this.
Every single time you hit your desk, it's just bassy.
Yeah.
My mic stand is in a different spot than it normally is, and it's kind of loose, so I probably should tighten it, but I didn't care enough. It's on my desk. I just want to hit my desk. Gonna be tired of honesty.
So you get the cuffs off. The shackles fall to the floor, and you hear like from Walter. You might want to go to a mirror and get those looked at. Those should get healed up. Like to your wrists, just like that ain't good.
Thank you. Sorry for the intrusion.
You're always welcome here. No worries.
Just be careful. I'll let you know if I see anything else.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll be as careful as we can, but no promises, because this one's always getting into trouble. And he kind of like gestures to Winter, and she's like, "Oh, hush your mouth. You're no better."
I love Winter. I love Winter.
So, and like as Cora, like as you're kind of helping Ivor, Winter, who is standing near you, actually kind of bends down and picks up the shackles, and she's like, y'all don't worry about this. I got this. I feel like we should get these as far away from her as possible. And so she takes the shackles and actually like heads back into a back room. Improvised weaponry.
Why do I have so many?
Next time you guys see her fight, she's using those as brass knuckles. Okay, so
amazing.
You guys have checked on the Dwyers. They don't seem to know what the fuck you're talking about. But you have learned that this is not a vision that you're used to.
And also, there doesn't seem to be a thing that everyone has happened.
Yeah.
Fucking Meredith. That's why.
As far as you guys know, Dimitri does. You guys do.
Yeah.
But
he's the only one we know.
Can I make an insight check to see if I can put together the fact that it's fucking Meredith?
Just I'm gonna wedge that in there, but it's sure not.
I'm gonna say that since you made the assumption, I'll say that I think that
You can have that assumption.
You can have that assumption for free. There you go.
Funsies. Little treat. After all that trauma, it's a little treat for you.
There you go.
Just a little something to make it worth your while.
So do you guys all head out? Cora and Ivor, do you guys leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a very awkward, just anyway.
Goodbye.
So you guys walk.
Don't look at me.
You guys walk out. Cora, what you see is kind of on the other side of town. You see more people are kind of leaving their homes, kind of starting the day. You see a handful of people are heading to the tavern, probably for breakfast. Some people are heading to the bakery. But one of the things you see is Gideon leaving his office.
That bitch.
Okay, really quick. Do you say that out loud?
No, Cora does not say that out loud. That is Chelsea. Okay. Anything I say in Cora, unless I'm using a different language, has an accent. Okay. Put that out flat. I am not going to say that out loud.
So you see, from a distance, you see Gideon leaving his office. He locks the door behind him and heads out. And you notice he's the only one who seems to lock their door. Like, no one else really seems to lock their door.
I wonder why.
And he leaves. And as you see him and as he's leaving, Ivor, for a moment, you feel a very familiar sense you know now you are about to have a vision. And
Oh, fuck.
And
Here we
suddenly,
go, boys and girls.
your eyes roll back. Cora, you see Ivor just kind of like,
Jesus Christ.
and she just kind of like zones out.
She's like, she's afraid she's about to pass out.
Would Ivor
Like,
fall? Would Ivor fall, or does she remain standing?
She hasn't had one in a while, so probably.
Okay, so she falls. So Cora, roll to catch her.
Cora's gonna catch her. What do you need me to roll?
Roll athletics or strength.
Okay.
Whatever's higher.
Neither. They're both +0. That's a natural 20.
Oh, you catch her good.
I catch that bitch so good.
You catch her
It's
so
like
damn
full
good.
on, just.
So you catch her. You notice that she is not responding. Ivor.
I was gonna say, do you want?
Cora's suddenly so worried.
Give me a second.
I was gonna say, since I'm the host, do you want to do like a breakout room for this?
Ooh.
Would Stream be able to see it?
Stream would catch wherever I go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
Put,
Right.
put Ivor and I in a breakout room, please.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
Let's do
God.
this.
Oh, God.
Sign
Whisper
manually.
chat.
Create.
Whisper chat.
Okay. Okay. Room 1.
By the power of gay. Thank you, Nessa. Thank you, Nessa.
And
To see
then.
by the power of gay. Chat.
Okay.
So all you're gonna know is whatever the chat says. See you guys in a few.
Okay.
I'll close.
Whoops. Hello.
Hello.
So, all right. Ivor, you have a vision.
Mm-hmm.
You have a vision of, you see, it's kind of a haze. It's, you actually see, sort of, it's like, it's smoky and wispy. It's not like in full color, but you can tell what's around you. You are in a room, and you see some bookshelves, and there's full of books. You see a desk with like a little, like a candle. You see a portrait, and sorry, I made a mistake of looking at the chat. Fun fact, Nessa says, oh wow, Ivor is in a room with Winter and Beckett, and they're all making out. Serious, I'm no longer looking at the chat. You then look and you see a couch, and it's like a therapist's couch. It's like something that someone would kind of like recline in, and next to it is like a little, so like a plush chair, and in the plush chair you see a man that you can assume would be Gideon, and he's like taking notes in like a little notebook, and on the couch is, we'll say it is Wallace. Wallace is kind of like fidgeting with his handkerchief, but as he's staring at the ceiling, you can tell that he is zoned the fuck out. But he's talking. He's talking without thinking. And he's talking about his brother and how he hates his brother for what his brother did. And you can tell that Gideon is, yes, I know. But how do you feel about you? And Wallace replies, well, I hate me even more. And you can see in Wallace's eyes, there's like a little red string, like a red ring around the outside of his pupil, iris, I mean. And you can tell in this vision that not only is this couch doing something, but as Gideon is writing in this vision that you're having, you can tell that he knows that like Wallace can't see him, and he's got this like wicked grin, and you can feel this like energy kind of coming off of him, that the couch isn't the only thing manipulating Wallace. If if you want to see if Ivor would know what's going on with Gideon, roll Arcana or Intelligence, I guess. And I'm going to say because you are a wizard of divination, I will give you advantage because this is like a vision.
Oh, I forgot to roll my portents. I need to do that. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to do those first. That's a 2. 2 and a 19. Hey, that works out.
19?
2 and... No, sorry. I'm rolling my portents because I forgot to do that earlier. And then... So you said Arcana or, like, history?
Yeah.
17.
Okay. This is someone with some bardic magics of their own, but not how Thespis is.
Is he a College of Whispers bard? I love College of Whispers.
You know. You know this magics. But that is where your vision ends. I've just let the chat know for them to oh wait, I forgot I can send a private message. Oh no, I can only send it to you. I'm gonna ask for help. No, I don't need to do it. Oh wait, I can leave the room. Fuck, we can leave the room.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, let's leave the room.
They have Casper has a
Hello.
friend. There's Jenny. Hello. We were just talking about Goldfish Memory Magna.
I forgot that we could leave the breakout room. So
close these rooms. Cool.
Hold on,
and I also just realized that.
Hold on. I'm writing notes. Give me a second.
You're good. I also just realized that everyone can see that I have Olivia's art as my background.
Oh, sweet. Hey, Olivia.
Nice. What?
Apparently your art is Casper's background, and everyone saw it.
The thing is, I want to pull up the chat.
Jared and Holly.
Oh.
Yeah, you did
I want to
that,
pull up
didn't
the
you?
chat now, but the problem is the stream is behind by like a minute.
I'm gonna
I can't look at the chat for the next like 5 minutes.
I don't think they put anything spoilery.
Because it hasn't gotten to the full part of it yet.
Oh,
because
no.
the stream is behind the chat.
Oh, well, they just referenced my background, so I'm assuming that it's caught up.
Yeah, I just see beam me in, and I was like, all right, cool, we're safe.
Yeah, there's nothing in the chat. You were good.
Cool. I just didn't want to have that spoiled.
No, you are good. Ivor wakes up, and you are in Cora's arms, and you can tell that Ivor's kind of coming to with like a sort of...
Are you okay? Do you need something to eat?
No, I didn't pass out.
What
I think
happened?
I think I know what Dr. Anderson is doing.
He's doing more than what we already know. Let's not have this conversation here. Let's go find Magna and we can talk about that. Okay.
You were suggested to go to Amir to get the wrists healed up.
Yeah. She's gonna start let's okay, one thing at a time. We need to get your wrists checked because they look awful. I'm gonna be entirely honest with you. Let's go to Amir.
All right. As you guys go to Amir, you guys get the warm, friendly greetings from people that you pass. You see that Lily and Malik are definitely out playing by the edge of town. Seem to be playing like a game of...
Where they're not supposed to be.
Yeah, well, all of us just keeping an eye on them.
Okay, good.
She's got an eye on them. And as you pass people, they give you a little wave. You enter the bakery with, and you see that Biren, at this point, a little bit of time has passed, but not too much time. You would have entered when Biren and Amir are actually still seated with Magna. Biren is still in her nightgown.
Oh, no.
I love Biren.
Amir is still got his, apron on and everything. And as soon as like the bell rings of the door being opened, Birin kind of looks over and goes, kind of looks to Amir. I should probably go get changed. And Amir's, yeah, good idea, love. And he kind of like leans over, like kisses her like on the cheek, which makes you realize how small his head is in comparison to hers.
Tiny.
Yeah.
I love him.
And then Birin kind of gets up, and Birin kind of gives like just like this little pat on Magna's head. And she
Because
then...
he was kind of flopped down a little bit, just like
So,
and Birin, and then Birin like heads out. She gives you a wave. She's like, I'll be right back. And then she goes kind of like trots out of the room, which it's a trot, but you hear the thump, 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 because she's a big old dragonborn.
you hear it. No matter where she is, you hear her walking.
Yes. So she kind of trots
Shakes
out.
the house a little bit.
Yeah, shakes it a little bit, but Amir seems he's so used to it.
Unfazed.
He's unfazed. So Amir's, well, good morning. Magna, look. And because he's like kind of trying to keep you cheered up.
Oh, look, it's your friends.
he's got like a mouthful of like blackberry tarts or whatever. It's like all over his mouth. He's just like, kind of like looks over, puts a little bit more of like the crust in his mouth, and he's just martyr.
It's like that picture of the person who has like 10 hot dogs in their mouth all at once. It's just that.
Just 10 blackberry tarts.
Yep, it's like all over.
Amir looks really concerned.
He's like, you could choke, please stop.
Yeah, he just stopped by to eat his feelings, pretty much.
Like, I do know the Heimlich, but please don't make me use it.
I don't want to have to use it.
You are so much taller than me. It would not be very effective, and you really don't want Birin to be cracking
I have to
your
get a
ribs.
step stool.
Trying to get into the
Yeah, right.
Cause
I step onto the couch.
You all walked into Birin, this massive dragonborn, in a nightgown, performing Heimlich on Magna.
Magnus still, good morning.
I'm kidding. Okay, no, track back. So Birin leaves the room. Birin leaves the room. Amir kind of gestures like welcoming. Amir welcomes you all in. Let it all out, dudes.
I think I'm good.
I had a cough fit like in the middle of the laughs. I was dying, like literally.
Oh no. So you yeah, I also need that art. Thank you. So
Oh man.
Birin leaves. Amir gestures like welcomes you and says, "Oh, good morning. Well, yeah, I guess I should probably get some more tea going. Would you guys like anything to eat this morning?" And then he like stops and he sees Ivor. It's like, "Oh, goodness gracious. Ivor. Oh,
Why we came back? Bye.
Excellent. Come here, please sit. And he kind of like moves. He very gently, kind of puts his hands on the back of your arms, Ivor, to just guide you to a seat. And he kind of sits you down. And he's like, "Oh, okay, all right." And he kind of just, and he takes your hands both in his own, so he's kind of like clasping both of his hands like around both of yours, and he like talking you through, almost like a doctor talking through a child with a shot, just like, so while you're here, perhaps I'm giving the idea best for us to get you some breakfast. Tell me, Ivor, what would you like? And as he's talking with her and like using a very calming tone, you see the wrists start to heal, and you see like the little crystal around his neck giving the faintest glow.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very
Turn that disconnect.
yeah. So it's almost like flickering a little bit, but it's like it's going. But Ivor, your wrists are healing up as Amir asks, "What would you like for breakfast?"
I wouldn't mind one of your tarts.
Tarts, all right. I have some more blackberry. I have raspberry, strawberry, and also cream cheese tart.
Any sounds delicious.
Right. Well, I'll see what I have coming fresh out of the oven, and you'll have to let it cool for a moment. So perhaps not fresh out of the oven. We'll see what I have in my baskets. And like he kind of pulls his hands back, and your wrists are fully healed. And he looks to Cora. What would you like for breakfast, dear?
Um, I hadn't even thought of that yet. Any of the tarts, honestly, and maybe some tea, if you
Excellent.
don't mind.
Of course.
Um, I will say Cora's normal composure is kind of starting to come back a little
Yeah.
bit. Like she's still not 100% there, but she's had long enough to be like, okay, all right, all right.
Yep.
Still dealing with it a little bit, but she's definitely better. Once, especially when fucking Ira collapsed, she was like, "Oh, be present."
Yeah.
So
So as Amir kind of steps back. It's like, all right. Well, I need to go grab some more tea from the back. If you all could just stay here, I will be right back. And Amir leaves you all alone in the front room as he kind of wanders into the back to restock the tea.
mm.
You all now have a moment alone to chat.
So I know, Ivor, you had a similar experience last night. Magna, did you dream or have a memory or something last night?
Kind of wipes all the blackberry stuff off of his fingers for a second, and he's just, why do you think I'm here?
I figured it's weird because it doesn't seem I think Dimitri went through the same thing last night, but the rest of the town, at least we've talked to, don't seem to know what we're talking about.
How'd you know? It was
We
Dimitri.
just how he sounded, how he looked. But everyone else that we talked to doesn't seem to know, or at least didn't experience it last night.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
Well, who did you see?
Thesmus.
Ivor?
Your audio's
We
gone.
can't hear you, Jenny. You're completely mute. There we go.
Why do I have to keep getting closer? Like progressively throughout the night.
You gotta
Your
make
mic
out with
doesn't
it.
have a wide distance. Please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't, please God don't.
Scene. Back into scene.
I think it was through Winter's perspective, but I saw Walter and Lily too.
Well, we know that they came here together, so
It wasn't
not shocking. Was it the last moment?
I don't think they could have survived what they did, so probably.
Same boat?
Oh.
So I just have a theory. It might be a weird one. But everyone at the guard headquarters was affected by Meredith, right?
From what we understand, yeah. Most everyone in the town was.
Dimitri wasn't.
I forget that he not? Because I was the person that
He
talked to
wasn't.
him.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he told me last night he wasn't. We spoke a little last night.
And no one at the guard headquarters seemed to realize that the dreams were a thing. So it seems like most likely they don't have them. So I think if we ask the people that we know that Thespis got to first, that might be the reason for it.
I think
Maybe.
Thespis dreamt too.
I don't know yet. I think we have to
I'm-
ask.
I know there's 3 people that usually stop Meredith from doing what she does. Thespis, Dimitri, and is it Mikhail? Is that how you
Mikhail.
pronounce it?
Thespis is the one who stops them, but Thespis got to Dimitri and Mikhail first that you know of.
Yeah. So there's at least 3 people that we can see, maybe.
Also, I know that Koratana, you probably know by what I was saying before. But Magna, I sometimes see things, like future things.
Like,
That
maybe let's have that conversation in private.
At about this point, you hear some shuffling in the back, and then Amir comes back with some like different little tins of various teas. So, God, I wasn't sure what all you all wanted, so I have a traditional morning brew, highly caffeinated, so really get the blood pumping. He puts the tin down. I also have a sort of a fruity combination tea. It's just a very floral flavor, and then also an Earl Grey. I'm not sure what all you all want. I could see if I have more.
I like Earl Grey personally, but I don't know what these 2 would like.
Iva, what kind of tea would you like, dear?
Honestly, anything.
I'll just make a big batch of Earl Grey. Do you want me to top you off, Magna?
he's kind of like looking at his glass because he honestly doesn't remember what tea was in it before.
I don't think he told you. I think he just made you tea in a panic.
He just made me something and then I drank it. So in theory, that could have been horrible.
See, but the thing is that Amir is one of those people that I would trust to hold my cup at a party. So we all know he didn't do shit to the cup.
No, because I'm not second dead.
But he could have.
He could have, but he didn't.
If he
Meredith, she probably would have, but it's not.
You'd be dead right now.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be on the floor dead. That's it.
Yeah. They'd walk in and there would be no need for Heimlich because they would have just let me choke and die.
Oopsie.
Did I do that? My bad.
Did I do that?
Did I do that?
Oopsie. But yeah, he'll just kind of.
One moment he was alive, and then the next he was on the ground. I don't know.
Some men just can't hold their tea. Some men just can't hold their arsenic.
Arsenic.
Anyway, so Amir starts to make you all some Earl Grey. And he's kind of just like humming to himself as he's making you all the tea. It's like, so what are your plans for today? I know that there's so many things to choose from to do around here, as he's kind of like starting to get things mixed together.
I know that Thespis is having a show mid-afternoon. I don't entirely understand how time works here. But later today I know Thespis is having, so I thought I'd go.
Yes. That is right. I do believe that they are actually setting up for that here very soon. So, thankfully, their stage is right outside of the bakery, so it'll be a very short walk. Trust me, you're in for quite a treat. I do think that they're actually performing with some other people today, so that's a special treat. Thespis has gotten the kids involved this time. So.
They did say they love the theatre, so they love the stage.
They do. Thespis likes to try and learn what all of our music and dance and all of those things were. And I think that they have learned different types of dances from almost all of us. There's one that Richard taught them, actually, and he's talking as he's like making the tea. Apparently, it's called the Charleston, which is very interesting to see. But Thespis and Richard did the Charleston a few weeks ago. Lots of arm movements, actually. I don't think I ever saw Richard move that much before, as he's kind of just like pouring tea.
I was afraid you were going to say floss, and I had a moment of panic.
Deadass, I thought you were going to say he taught them how to twerk. And I was like, all right, I'm done.
We were both very, we're like, what is he going to do?
Richard from his world was around in the American 1920s. He learned the Charleston.
But also, like, I could see Richard teaching that, or Thespis teaching Richard how to twerk. One of the two. One of the options.
Thespis can twerk. I will say it now. Thespis can twerk. Richard cannot.
Jeez.
This is the 1920s. It's, like, really not okay.
Walter can twerk better than Richard can, okay? Like...
But also, Richard cannot twerk, but will not let you tell him that he cannot twerk.
That's it. He's got a great ass, and he thinks that's all you need. No.
Does that, like, convulsing back?
Like, honey, please stop. You're going to hurt yourself.
At the end of the stream, I think Cecil's also
start
gone.
Off with angst and end with
oh my god.
Okay. So, Amir is making you all tea.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the Tina Belcher dance.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I could animate.
Just Richard just doing that, and everyone around them is just like...
Claudius is just, Richard, stop, please.
God.
You're embarrassing yourself. Is this Meredith? Did Meredith do this to you?
It's always Meredith, motherfucker.
God damn it.
Somehow my follower count goes into the negatives.
Negative numbers.
Claudius leaves Nexilis. He finds the way out. Claudius has found the way out.
He's the only one! No one else is allowed to leave! Richard stays here! Everyone else gets out, Richard is trapped.
And he's trapped forever twerking on that stage alone.
It's his own personal hell.
Okay, but also, Richard gets left there alone, and because he has nobody to, like, watch him twerk, he does the portal thing and just sticks his ass.
Oh my god.
What are we even doing?
She just has a portal skill and looks like she's like, ass. At least it's a nice ass. Richard has a really nice ass. I will say that.
But it's like, it's convulsing, like, and it's doing some weird shit.
It's like whoever has a brush with dick, that's what they see. They're like, they wake up in front, they're like, no, I don't want to go, not yet. I don't want to go where that is. I'm not ready for whatever that is. Not yet, please, God.
God, please, no, take me back!
Okay, so
Lord, take me back!
Amir is making this tea.
Yes.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god!
I'm gonna look at the chat.
Why did Zoom just ask me if I'm playing music? What the f? Go away!
Richard wants music to dance.
Jesus fucking Christ! Also, I just want to say I love Thespis. I stand by this.
If Richard was real, he would have murdered me by now. His own creator, he would have killed his own god. Anyway.
I feel like no matter what, Richard one day is going to kill you.
Yeah. In one way or
One day
another.
Richard is going to be the cause of your death.
Yes. Yeah. Now
He's going to fight God and win.
he will decimate me, okay?
He's just laughing because you die and go to Nexilis, and Richard's just twerking like, I've been waiting for you. I knew you'd get here sooner or later.
You know, I feel like this actually isn't a bad time for us to have our little intermission.
Oh my god, thank you.
Laughs out. Just deal with this on our own time.
Yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a little intermission.
Oh my god.
So everyone, we will be back here in about 10 minutes. I know that actually doing this makes it lag. In 10 minutes, we will be back. We will, everyone can top off their refreshments. Everyone can go to the bathroom, have a little break. My clock says 10:33. If I could have everyone back at 10:43.
Got it.
We will all be back in about 10 minutes.